Okay. Your now moment is wrapped for new choice. Choice that supports you and others in a mutually beneficial exchange of love. Real courage isn't a battle won, it's a battle transformed into growth and improvement. Often that means resisting the urge to overpower and find integration through understanding and love. That which challenges offers a gift. Courage is embracing the challenge by trusting you are capable of moving through it. Patience and neutrality quell fear and create calm courage. Develop the courage to look at the undesired aspect of yourself or others while still maintaining nurturing love. Have the courage to allow another to be as they are, even while holding your boundaries. Take risk and share your unique expression. So I'm just going to leave it here. Just also want to remind you that besides solar eclipse and solstice, we also have a new moon. And new moon is usually a time, and this is new moon in Cancer. So we just had really busy Gemini time where a lot of the communication stuff was coming up because Gemini stands for air and communication. Cancer is a different kind of energies. It's a water energy. Cancer is about actually nurturing, and it's about home. It's about your family. We actually move into a new place. So anything to do with your ancestral lineage, or perhaps even ancestral traumas that part of the lineage. So those are the things that we courageously are now looking at. And maybe there's things within your family that you're going to be working through within this month. So think as we go into the meditation, just form in your mind, what's your intention? And the intention we're setting right now is just not for this month, because we're starting the new lunar cycle, but actually for the next 6 months. Because we're in this solar eclipse and new moon phase, everything we're doing right now is actually setting the course for the next 6 months as well. So that's how kind of potent this gateway is for any intention you set. What kind of reality you want to manifest. So I'm giving you a few minutes to think through that. And the last card, I just want to show you that part of the energies. This is from, I don't know if you can see, disappearing, galactic guidance. These are kind of Pleiadians. They kind of disappear in a little bit. Staff, family, assistance, cooperation. So as we go on through this transition, we always also have support of different realms that sometimes we're aware of and sometimes we're not. So there's, the multidimensionality of it is amazing, but there's a lot of groups right now that are really looking after what's happening here on Earth. So Pleiadians, Lyrians, many different Syrian, Andromedans, many different councils. I usually channel, my higher self is usually connected to Lyra, to Lyran system. So just letting you know that as we open up the ceremony tonight, we'll also have a lot of presence of our soul family, star family, that we all connected to, because our higher aspects all coming from the stars. And that's why we're here now. All right, beautiful. So at this time, if you have, because we're in ceremony, if you have a candle at home nearby, recommend that you light it up, because we're working with the energy of the sun. It's good to have fire, the grandfather energy of fire nearby. Also, it's good to have water. You can drink it before the meditation and after. The light language codes, they are here to upgrade us. So in the meditation itself is about upgrading our cellular structures. So I always reiterate about drinking and hydrating as much as possible, because we're going to be processing, and we're in Cancer. So, and before I jump into the meditation, just last thing I wanted to mention is because we're in the Cancer energy, Cancer is related to the second chakra, the Sacral Chakra. And so in meditation, we're actually going to be working on activating the second chakra as well. It was a guidance just that came to me a few days ago that it's important for a lot of us to tune to that chakra as well, as it's related to the creative aspects of our reality. Since we are the creators of our reality, we have to kind of unblock whatever's blocked there, and a lot of those ancestral lineages that I was referring to, perhaps some karma that you have, also sometimes the blocks are sitting in the second chakra. So I'm just kind of bringing you awareness that we'll do some work on the sacral. All right. So without further ado, I guess we'll just jump in. I think we have a lot of people. Hi, Anna. Good to see some old faces too. All right, perfect. So find a comfortable seat, or you can lie down, whatever is most comfortable for you. And now you can close your eyes and take a deep breath in, scanning your physical, emotional, mental systems. And if there's anything that feels stuck, exhale it out. And exhale is through your mouth. So another deep breath in and exhaling through open mouth. So we are going through a time of rapid transition, and we made a conscious choice to be here now during this transition. So this solstice and solar eclipse meditation intention is to increase the frequency and sovereignty as we invite and anchor the new earth timeline of the co-created vision of unity, unified field of consciousness. So we embody the sacred human that we are. Take a deep breath in, exhale out. Become conscious of your body. Continue breathing. Feeling the weight of your body. Gravity pulling it down. Relax with each breath. Feeling your relaxation from your feet all the way through your body. And with each exhale, we releasing everything that's not serving us right now, this time. Becoming present. And breath is our connection here to Mother Earth. As we fill our lungs with oxygen, we notice how lungs expand. And the lungs are very connected to the heart chakra. So the heart center is expanding as well, finding that space within. Now imagine yourself a beautiful green field. Imagine that sun is high above your head. And it's summer solstice, so it's at the maximum right above you. And the sunshine rays are warming your skin. And as you breathe in, the heart expanding in this beautiful golden sunlight. Feel how this beautiful sunlight within is expanding into every cell of your body as you're walking on your path. Doesn't matter where you're going. Today you're just welcoming the light, welcoming alignment. You're welcoming love, your divine right, your divinity. And as you embrace in your divinity, you transcending the past. You're in this moment, now present. Feel the energy, this new energy warmly and gently sweeping all over your being. Your hair is in the wind, and you feel in this encouraging energy of something new, of a new light, a new reality. And you feel in this beautiful golden light expanding and further from your heart center, all around you. You're engulfed in this bubble of golden light. And all the distractions are dissipating, and you're just relaxed. Your muscles are relaxed, and you're just happy to be walking. And then you see some really nice grass, beautiful green grass, and you feel like you want to lie down on this beautiful sunny day. You just lying, kind of lowering yourself down to the grass, feeling the softness of the grass, the freshness of the air, feeling safe and protected. You lying down on your back into this grass and feeling like a blanket. It's surrounding you, and you merging with Earth, with Mother Earth. Taking a deep breath in. Now see how your feet are starting to grow roots, as though you are a tree yourself. In this moment, you're remembering that you are part of this symbiotic relationship with Mother Earth. You are a tree as well. And every molecule of your body comes from this planet. So imagine the roots are going all the way down to the core of the Mother Earth. As you feel in your connection with all the forests, all the mycelium network, all the oceans, and all the high frequency beings living in the oceans, the beautiful dolphins and the whales that sing their song. They are beautiful light language too. This way, they are the guardians of this planet, among other guardians. who live under the surface of the earth. So let's take this moment to honor all the species, this beautiful interconnected web of Mother Earth. And as your roots go all the way to the core of the Mother Earth, you feeling your connection as you settle your roots and let go of any heaviness that you might have experienced the last few months. It's been heavy. And so you just allowing Mother Earth to take it all. Ishu. Anku. Feeling the beautiful connection with Mother Earth, her love and support and nourishment. Feeling groundiness that you so needed right now. Forming your connection. And thanking her for being here for you always, as you are her child. And now thanking her, finding that balance within. And we're going to take a deep breath in. Collect all the beautiful nourishment and support from Mother Earth and bring it through the roots, back to the body, through our feet. And now I want you to put your hands on the Sacral Chakra, the second chakra. It's below your navel, kind of where the womb is. Breathe into this place. Imagine it's forming like an orange ball. The sacral chakra is an orange color. So you're breathing into the womb and seeing it filling up with this orange color, radiating through. And this is a place of our creativity, of our nourishment, of our fire, of sexual connection to creation. You are a creative, powerful being, multidimensional being, and you are creator of this collective reality. So we're gonna use a mantra for this chakra, which is VAM. So we're gonna repeat that about 6 times. So do it at your own pace, but I'm gonna start. VAM. And feel the vibration in the chakra as you do this. Deep breath in. VAM. 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 3 more times. Deep breath in. VAM. 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 Just bring your awareness, see if anything's coming up for you. If there's any blockages, then perhaps dissipated. There's a lot of water in this chakra, and just see it's like waves coming in and out. As I mentioned, it's related also to the new moon of Cancer. So we honor in this moment, connecting to our sacral chakra, to the sacral creative chakra of creation, of birthing something new. And now I'd like to bring your attention from the second chakra all the way up through solar plexus, through your heart, through the throat, the third eye. We're going to be at the crown now, at the top of your head. Now we're going to turn our eyes towards the sky, the Father sky. And now our sun that was shining above is actually at the solar eclipse. It's getting obscured by the moon. And as the two come together in a beautiful dance, you are seeing the ring of the fire. Literally looks like a ring with fire for a few moments. And here we're going to connect to the portal and gateway of this ring of fire. This special time of the year. Breathe it in. Gratitude that washes over you as you open your heart to the beauty of this sacred time and space. And as we go through this ring of fire, we will be anchoring the light to all the vortexes, all the ley lines, all the human hearts and the grids that connecting us to the paradise timeline here on New Earth. And I'd like you to visualize from your heart through the crown a pillar of electric blue white light. And now visualize another pillar coming all the way from the cosmic central sun through the galactic central sign, going through all the points of light, and it's merging with your pillar. And you're feeling this light, this pillar of light going through your body all the way deep to the center of the Mother Earth. And we're going to be connecting to the presence of your higher self, opening up through your third eye, through your crown chakra to receive the highest dimensional guidance, to be aware of your multidimensionality, to open up to this cosmic knowledge, bringing in the diamond light codes coming in through this pillar of electric blue white light. Ishiu akiu amakana shuramu ishikini iwa ishama Makashiu kijawai ujakini kana ushakani ragimaku Shijiki ni jiku aijimiki na jusira kunasha ikia tuaini kina waikisha Ukini I Imaku Ishiki Nijima Ikunara Ishiriru Kina Ao Imanakusha I Ukini I Ukia Ukili Lirkuna A Breathing in diamond light codes, sharing yourself with these rainbow codes coming all the way from the galactic center. Receiving the light into every cell of your body. Your divinity resides in every single cell. But always remembering you child of the stars. And with the light codes, we also activate in your blueprint the DNA codes that are already within you. You already have all the gifts. It's up to you to remember. Connecting deeper to our original blueprint. Receiving the frequencies into your structure, into your DNA, recalibrating, activating. Deep breath in as you're feeling the frequencies in your body, every cell. Pulling it in. You are the conduit. I'd like you to envision the new earth reality. Shimaki no aishiu. Ti 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 ti. Kurati im kunashi urataka. Imagining beautiful lakes, clean oceans, no pollution, and the water is vibrating to our highest consciousness. Taking a deep breath in as we envision also bringing our awareness to the mountains. The mountains, where standing strong, bringing us to the high frequencies, we're finding the strength within them. Imagining the humanity that's loving each other, evolving, disregarding any race, income, color, any languages, in the oneness when we see each other. Umi Ushiu Ni Muka Aku We are all brothers and sisters of divine consciousness. We are together in one, co-creating together, imagining this financial system, a quantum, an enlightened system that supports and sustains all the people living on earth. People are working and doing what they enjoy. Everyone has time to be creative. Everyone is co-creating. Everyone has time to do their own true inner self-work, always being in truth and authentic. We approach all challenges from compassionate place, embracing our humanity, being forgiven to ourselves, loving to ourselves, and compassionate to others, even if they might not see always what we see, because it's all about perspective. We just don't see that perspective. Imagine this reality of peace and love, harmony and joy. Reality for the greatest and highest good of all. It's already happening. Taking a deep breath in. Feeling as though you're already in it. Anchoring it in. Aku ini u Hashimakui ini kunayu shu. We're gonna expand ourselves and send out light, love, and high frequencies to anyone who needs it. Anyone who might be sick, loved ones, your friends. Gonna expand that golden light within us, heart, within us, cellular body, friends. And now we're gonna spread it through New York City and now to the whole United States, all the continents, all the oceans. Seeing yourself wrap in Mother Earth, Gaia, in this golden light. Kama inu I ishataki shikina a ushamakana Iki isha imaka inuki shikuna iya. Now taking your hands and put it on your heart. Taking a deep breath in. Honoring this moment, honoring yourself for your work, for showing up. Anchoring the higher frequencies to this timeline. Sending lots of love to yourself. Lots of gratitude for being here now. And sending a prayer of gratitude from your heart all the way to the heart of the cosmos. For seeing and hearing you. For always knowing that the galactic family is here to assist you. Trusting and believing the process. Trusting and believing your gifts, your multidimensional potential here now. It's so infinite. Trusting with every fiber of your being. Kuishimakunasha anori ikinashikina isha ima etta. Now slowly going to be coming back. Taking a deep breath in, rubbing our hands. Sometimes I like to pinch myself. I'm here, I'm here. As we come back and open our eyes to here now. And I would love some people here to share any experiences or any messages that you have right now for the collective. You're all unmuted, so whoever feels called to share as you're coming back. Now, sometimes it's hard to ground yourself and come back right away. Take your time to stay in silence as long as you need. Oh, so we have some people from Amsterdam. Amazing. Hi, Walter. Do you want to share something?
You hear me?
We can hear
Thank
you.
you for the presentation. It was nice.
Do you have any interesting experiences or any messages that perhaps came through for you? That would be...
I'm just feeling great and a good energy.
Great. Where are you calling from? Where are you from?
Amsterdam.
From Amsterdam. Amazing. Thank you for being with us. It's probably pretty Amsterdam. Thank you. Anyone else feeling called to share?
Ik heb het graag gedeeld. Voor de anderen.
Anthony, love, we're here. Hi, good to see you guys. How are you?
Doing wonderful. Thank you. What an incredible experience. I really loved what you bring forward. And so felt an intensity of today's energy brought forward soothe that. So thank you. I felt like an extra like 25% like slip in the trigger land today. And so
Yes.
yeah, what you brought forward was
yeah, I don't know at what point you joined. I was talking about it. The energies are very intense now. There's a lot of things happening, and a lot of planets, not all, but a lot of planets in retrograde. So we also don't have the support of the planets. Everyone is a little on edge. And
planetary peeps. Yeah. Who am I without my guardian?
Yeah, so it's good to share, embrace the triggers and the shadows, that's part of the process of where we are. Yeah, and also it's kind of, we're going through this like darkness into the, the other side, so it's all part of the collective. Yeah, Danielle, are you gonna come and join me to share as well? I think he's in the room. I think Irina is on as well. Irina, like to share something? How was your experience? Yeah, somebody. I'm gonna unplug this.
Yeah, I do that. So, yeah. Can you hear me? I can see myself for some reason. Anyway, so it was so good to make the time and to go through the Ring of Fire with you. I find your language so fascinating. It's I don't understand it, but I appreciate the sound of it. It sounds very in Russian. I want to say "laskavy." I like I hear a Russian "laskavy" in it, and so I love it so much. Thanks for your transmission.
What are you hearing in it? You said the Russian
"Laskavy."
Laskavy.
Ласковый язык. Мне вот
like gentle. Yeah. Yes, nice.
Yeah, and I played along with the crystal balls, and I also was holding the rods and really like thinking, setting up the intention for the balance of the masculine and the feminine energies. And so this has
I have the rods. Thank you for the
yeah.
So these are actually tools that Daniel and I make. These are Ma'at rods. Daniel actually sells them on Etsy, and Irina just got them. It's ancient technology. Actually, the pharaohs used to use them. If you look at the pharaohs, the mummies, they either stand like this or on the bottom. Usually it's copper to the right and zinc to the left, and they help you to calibrate your masculine and feminine, because we have both of those energies in our body. So we use them a lot as for meditation, for calibration. Yeah, so how's your experience with working them? Did you use them during the meditation?
Yeah, I was like just holding them and with intentionally, and it was like overwhelming in general, and this is one part that made it more like prominent and made my intention more meaningful. So thank you for this, and yeah, really like happy that I got to like make the time to think of it like in ceremonial fashion and like usher this new chapter, you know, with together with you and like the new for humanity.
Beautiful, thank you, and thank you for using the tools too.
Yeah, I'm on mute now, but it's great to see everybody.
You too.
Congratulations, we're almost through, right?
We're still in it for next few hours, I think.
Yeah.
Solar eclipse, I think it will be peaking around 2:30 or so, and then another 3 hours. So it's usually 3 hours before and 3 hours after. But it's only the intention is what matters the most, because we actually physically not going to see like but I know some people in Amsterdam, but we're not seeing it in North America. But energetically, it's still here. We're kind of in it already. So it's the intention of going through and kind of keeping the vibrations, you know, those frequencies which are through in our body. Drinking a lot of water, as I mentioned in the beginning, just really soaking in the light codes as well, because you just received a lot of activation. So, you know, your cellular memory structure is going to get integrating this into your blueprint, into your DNA, and it's usually a process. It takes from 24 to 48 hours to more, you know, whatever comes up. So deep processes. Thank you, Irina, for being here.
Thank you. Ciao, guys.
Bye. Hi, Yana.
Hi, Dina. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much. It was an amazing experience. I usually meditate, but it doesn't go so deep. And tonight I was just so tuned into your energy and everything that you were guiding. And I also love light language transmission. It's just so powerful and so just touches my soul, and your voice and everything. And I just know your energy. It's so pure and with so much love, and you have this intention to upgrade all humanity to this paradise timeline. And
it's not only my intention.
And you know, when you were saying
many light workers and wayfarers who are doing this right now, today, and tomorrow. So we, you know, it's a collective work. I think we're just all having these like mini circles, you know, it's like neurons in a mycelium network, and then they all connect, right? And we're all able to awaken the others and hold the frequency. I mean, it kind of takes a certain percentage of us to be awake in here and now. And so those of you who are here on this call, on the path of awakening, of service to others, not just service to self. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here, because you're resonating with my frequency and the message. So yeah, we're all doing it, right? So it's kind of like we all, with all these neurons, we all connected to everyone else. It's beautiful.
Yes, thank you. I mean, it's been a beautiful experience. And during meditation, when you were talking about oceans and rivers and forests, I could really feel that it's healing, and that there is hope. There is hope. So thank you. I'm so grateful to be here.
Well, Mother Earth received her own reset by putting us all in quarantine. So that was great for her. I don't know if you saw, but a lot of like dolphins, and I think it was like in Italy, in Venice, came out in the canals that were usually always dirty, and they came out to play. And so, you know, sometimes we need to pause, and so that's a good pause for us in 2020. It's forced pause of understanding and connecting deeper with Mother Earth and ourselves, because it's kind of, we have a symbiotic relationship, right? She's awakening and we awakening, we waking her up. So it's kind of, we here really to wake her up. So it kind of works together. So then we can all over. And if you're familiar with Schumann resonance, which is the vibration of the earth, I post about it quite a lot. In the last few weeks, I mean, there were a lot of protests, a lot of collective kind of activation. The Schumann resonance was quite high from usual, you know, 70, 60 in hertz, which is why a lot of us also feeling it, you know. It's literally like vibrated as the earth is vibrating with us, and so there's a lot of energy, a lot of upgrades. So it's been a really amazing time, and we volunteered to be here now to usher that in. So how incredible that you know, anything you want to share on that? No?
I'm just feeling very chillaxed after that.
Daniel. Great. That's great.
May I ask a question?
Yeah, I was about to. Yeah, ask a question. Go ahead.
This is my first time joining a call like this. and I found your words very intriguing, the sounds, and they were sort of, to me, I felt like playfulness actually. um, and I was finding my being was like bubbling because of the sounds, and I'm like, what is she doing? What is she saying?
Well, the way I can scientifically, I mean, so as much as I can break it down, my understanding logically of what's happening is that, so our DNA has already the codes, right? Our divine blueprint. And so the light language is multidimensional language. It's not linear. So your soul already knows the language because embedded, the same codes embedded in your DNA. So when you hear in the sounds, something starts activating within, right? So some stuff like joy and playfulness are coming out, like the frequencies start shifting you, something starts activating because it's already within you. So in some ways, there's like this soul resonance that's happening because your multidimensional aspect, your higher self, already knows this language, or at least connected. It doesn't even matter because my language is Lyra and there's many other languages, but it's connected to that kind of frequency because it's a higher frequency than when we talk, when you and I converse, we understand each other, we can translate. In light language, there's no direct translation, right? So usually I usually also, there's like symbols that come with it. So that's why I move my hands a lot, you probably didn't see. And so they kind of come in all kinds of ways, and it's not linear at all. Sometimes I can catch what they're trying to say, and sometimes I cannot. In this meditative kind of guided thing, I could catch a little more of the messages, but I have to do all with like, staying in a divine true self to be really connected and activated. So, and many more. So yeah, so they just kind of work that way because sound it's so subtle, right? So it can penetrate to the cellular memory. It can go deeper that even, some other things that possibly can, even like, doing Reiki healing on someone is nice. I'm a master Reiki healer. I've done all of that. I've done a lot of shamanic work, but light language is something that came to me about 2 years ago and really activated right before the quarantine. So, and I've been using it a lot, and I see how the effect of it is much more potent because of the how deep it can go. So yeah, so part of you just kind of like, it's like, ooh, this is fun. I know this.
I woke up.
Yeah, I totally woke you up, and I encourage you, kind of, integrate it. If you're interested, reach out to me. I'm actually hoping after the summer, maybe in September, to start a light language program for those who are interested to learn how to speak light language, because I feel this is the next thing. It's a multidimensional language that connects you to your galactic self. So if we able, all of us, imagine a reality, all of us are able to speak these languages, and this reality already exists in my reality because I join these groups and we all channel languages, and they're all different, which is amazing. It's like this orchestra, universal orchestra, and it sounds amazing too. And be able to communicate that way. I mean, everyone talked about telepathy, how telepathy was the next thing, but I believe it's really light language. It's so available to us, and all it takes is for us to embody ourselves, to really accept our divine self and our galactic connection, and then it starts coming. That's when it started coming for me. When I fully accepted it, then it started picking it up. And so actually by you hearing it, you also starting to activate. And my intention for during this gateway is for the next 6 months is for all of you who are here right now is to remember the light language. It usually starts with your own mother tongue from where you came, if you remember, like your last incarnations, and then it expands. Like I've been playing with it, now I'm picking up languages from other systems as well, but mostly Lyran, which is where I'm from, is my base. and it's fun. I've been playing with it like in the forest. The fairies come through and they're very playful. Because when you said playful, it reminded me. They're very like very kind of fun frequency, and then like almost put a smile on my face. It's very like, yeah. One sec, let me see the fairies. That's the fairies. Yeah, I've been connecting to them more recently. They're so great. So you start connecting to the elementals. So these are fairies are the elementals. So there's a galactic language and there's elemental language. There's the base languages that we know, like the Native American languages. And there's the elemental, the fairies, the elves, and then the galactic languages. And then there's the angelic languages too. So for angelics usually come in, for me at least, through a song. And when I've been doing sessions with one-on-one sessions, sometimes they come in to heal emotions, or like someone was grieving because someone passed away, heal emotions. They're kind of more emotional. Galactics are kind of mixed bag, but they usually have a deeper message for evolution of humanity, or evolution of your divine blueprint. They're very like technical in some ways, and sometimes like so usually my higher self is the channel, but your higher self accepts what it needs, so it filters what it's not. So it obviously, since it's resonated, something within your higher self just kind of knew, started activating. So it's a lot of fun.
I just found it very unusual and very like, you said you did that at one point. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it started actually coming just recently. It like last week, honestly. All of a sudden it was new. I was just telling Daniel the other day. It's very Lyran. I haven't done it before. It was just kind of like I listened to another activation by someone who does light language. She actually, the cards that I showed, but her name is Lightstar. She has a YouTube channel as well. And so anyway, I was listening to another activation of hers on some other workshop, and after that it started like all kinds of interesting things. So we also kind of help each other, right? Because we all there's that resonance. But Lyrans, they we are kind of like lion beings, sort of like a humanoid way, So if you can think of, I don't know if you're familiar with Egypt and goddesses in Egypt, the lion head of Sekhmet and a female body. So that's kind of an aspect of Lyrans or Lyrians. Sometimes different people say different things. I've been seeing myself, as I use the language no more, I often see myself more in that body, that avatar body. It's kind of fun. Kind of in the movie Avatar, where I had actually a moment in ceremony where I could like actually wiggle my tail and my nose, like feel like I'm in that body. So, but those are the potentials, right? That we all have. We all can connect to a higher aspect. We have them, and not necessarily just one. Sometimes one is just the most prominent one, at least for me. But some of us in our soul incarnations, we went through different planets, right? The consciousness started in the cradle of Lyra, but then because of the Lyran Wars and then the Orion Wars, the consciousness started evolving, and then some of us moved to Pleiades, some of us moved to Orion Belt. And so some of my friends are channeling Andromedan language, Arcturian, very also high codes. So from those systems, and that's mostly our starseed pool. That's mostly where we're from so far what I've noticed. You know, there are exceptions, but those are kind of the main key systems that we came from. And we, you know, playing this game of life here and on Earth in this Earth school.
Wow. I think I've just learned a whole lot of cosmic stuff, which I wasn't aware of.
Yes, this is like Cosmic School 101.
Dina, when you channel light language, do you know what the message is, or you just feel it, or you don't know, like do you know what I mean?
Sometimes I do. So usually when it's in a group, it's a little different. So usually it's like a collective message. So because I was guiding you, so as I was telling you in English, right? The whatever was, then the light language came in. So it was kind of in the flow. And so there was no direct translation, but it kind of related to what I was saying in that moment to activate that specific thing. When it's one-on-one, it's easier because then I usually work on the intention of the person, and then it's very kind of direct to that person, and so I can catch much more. I see like an activation of some chakras happening, or there's like a direct message sometimes that comes through, or the person receives the direct message, or some sort of, you know, some sort of thing they need, or colors. It's very individual, but in the one-on-one sessions it's easier for me at least. There are some people who can translate, but we all usually, those who do light language, oh, this is the virtual background. Maybe I should, Daniel, you kind of like disappearing in the virtual background. I'll turn it off. This is at home. Now you can see it. Oh, actually, yeah, the lion right behind me. That's,
oh, wow.
for sure, yeah. Someone painted what I saw in the vision. So what I was saying, that yeah, so there's no direct translation. Anyone who's trying to translate, it gets close, but usually I don't know, everyone's trying not to, because then if you just think of it, the language is so multidimensional and the frequencies kind of, you know, speak themselves. The words that we use here on Earth are so limited. So it's like you're taking this frequency and trying to limit it into one word that you already have interpretation for. Mm-hmm. Then you lose everything else. Yeah. So there's sometimes general themes that, you know, we I would say, or those who transmit will say, but no one ever tries to do a direct translation. And it's also written. So if you have ever, I don't have it with me right now, but actually those cards that I showed, so this is a written form, right? The fear card that I showed, right? So this is a written form of light language. So this is specific one is from Jamie Price, who's my teacher. This is Orion. So that's kind of one way, but there's different codes, and it becomes very interesting. Kind of, they look like kind of kids writing, right? But actually they all have a deeper. Yeah, this one, for instance, I was trying to show the serious one. The card.
Oh, wow.
So this is serious transmission, Syrian language, and as you can see, there's a lot of embedded here, a lot of codes. So you can actually just like look, since we worked on courage, you can just look at it, and just by looking at it and kind of soaking it in, you already also getting some sort of activation for your souls. It's not always spoken or sung. It's actually the written form is pretty powerful as well. And there's some really beautiful art pieces with the written. So, and the transmissions usually come like in the moment, you know, there's no thinking, you trying to be a conduit, but some people are able to transmit like different beings, they know they're coming in. For me, so far, and I'm pretty close channel, I mostly just connect to my higher self, my higher aspect. And I usually don't let other beings to communicate with me. Maybe that's why I don't, but there are a lot of light workers who do light language transmission. Sometimes they're able to communicate with beings through light language.
Thank you.
Sure. Dana?
Good.
Any other questions? So maybe, you know, how solstice is for you? Maybe something that, like, any other questions about the energies of now or what's coming? I see Gigi's here. Gigi. Are you there, love? So we have time. I mean, we're not in a rush. We're kind of in the ceremony here. So you guys this is kind of free form. You can go ahead, ask any other questions you might have. Just, you know, not necessarily about light language, but anything you want to discuss about the energies or, you know, the collective, or even this new Earth timeline that I was trying to enter you guys in.
So what does like I can is it okay for me to ask if are you a light worker?
Yeah, no.
So are you a light worker?
Well, that's a good question, actually. So light workers usually are the one. Well, how should I answer? There you go.
Okay, why don't you tell me who you are? Let's put it that way.
That's why I don't like to put labels. So light workers are the ones who kind of, you know, ushering in a timeline or working with specific frequencies, the ones that I just mentioned, like which to the highest good of all. But some light workers, that's the reason I was laughing, is we all light workers. You are a light worker. So what makes you a light worker is basically being, you know, present to yourself, tune into your heart. Even being here, you're a light worker. You are connected to something beyond what you know as the current reality. So that makes you automatically a light worker. In Starseed, usually we refer to people who, again, like us, who are awakening, who are connected. So Starseed, you know, you probably heard of indigos or crystal children or rainbow children. My son is a rainbow. So it's basically waves of incarnations of starseeds. So we all came from somewhere, and we incarnated here on Earth for a specific mission or purpose. Most of us incarnated here for the same reason, which is to elevate the frequency of the Earth and help Earth to move through this transition right now. So literally, you're here at this moment. You volunteered for it. Trust me. No one forced you to do this. So you're here now doing this because you chose to be here. So that automatically makes you a light worker. And so I was laughing about light workers because sometimes light workers say, oh, we're team light. So we only work with light. And that's where I was kind of like, no, it's not all about love and light. It's also about accepting the darkness and working with the darkness. So for me, for instance, I did a lot of shamanic work and some dances with blindfolded, and we went into the darkness. In the darkness, you work with the shadows, you work with triggers, things. That's also aspect of yourself. So we embracing that, and we integrated the dark and the light. So with not so much light workers anymore, Daniel and I, we kind of operate more from what we call the void. So, and in the void, the light and the dark are integrated. So we're not on team light, on team dark. We kind of in the middle. And I like to be in the middle right now. Honestly, with the way the energies are working right now, I found the best way the best place to be is an observer. So, you know, you have protests going on and this and that. And I do believe in, you know, in abolishing those things that not serving us anymore. So obviously active in some ways, but I also chose to be neutral right now and be in the middle, not being out there protesting, but really holding my anchor and anchoring the grids into higher frequencies, because when you go too passionate about something, sometimes you get swayed, and that energy is actually, it's called loosh. It's you know, when you start being really angry because you're so passionate about it, Team Dark uses that energy for their own agendas and for their own good. So we, in some ways, we are in galactic war here over the future of humanity and different timelines that are on the table. So I'm here trying to anchor us in what I call paradise timeline, which is the highest good of all, versus, you know, there's a lot of structures in place right now that crumbling, like the financial systems, the other systems that are not interested in us waking up. They're not interested in us reclaiming our power and changing the way things are. So you could say they are Team Dark in some ways, but in some ways they also serve their own purpose and they have their own mission, and we don't necessarily align to their mission, which is to siphon energies of others and control others and enslave others. We believe in sovereignty and freedom. As divine beings, we are sovereign. We are gods and goddesses incarnated here on earth from the stars, and we're free. So it's very important at this time to claim your dominion and claim your sovereignty, and not let anyone to use your energy. And it's important to keep your boundaries really strong. So it's important to be aware of, I guess, everything else that's happening that Team Dark, because a lot of people who are very vulnerable and open don't have strong energetic core. Sometimes get susceptible to, you know, even being out there in protests. It's not all about the virus and getting infected. It's a little more than that. So these are just different dances that are happening right now, and we just choose our role. We choose to be neutral in the 0 point, in the void.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Huh? You're like Daniel usually has so much to say, but she's just like, yeah.
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 I just found it very intriguing. That's all. And I'm like, wow, what's happening here?
Yeah. Well, the other terminology you might hear some people use is like way showers, which again it's just a terminology people just kind of create labels. Way showers just means like you
Showing the way.
you live by example, like you live what you preach. Your every day is a ceremony, it's a sacred moment, you know, every moment you breathe is a sacred moment. So just having that kind of reverence and grace is so important at this time, because like I said, like it's so easy to get wobbled to the left, to the right, and get polarized. So for us as starseeds, it's important to remember why we're here, and remember our true divinity, and not, you know, and keep our center, our core really steady. And those are just labels, you know, some people create because they don't know how else to explain it. You know, with those crazy ones doing crazy things. I have crazy pyramids and some rods. So it depends who you talk to and how we want to, you know, label ourselves. And I mean, ideally, you don't want to put any masks and be true, but we still operate in different frequencies, you know, different dimensions. So everyone talks about like we transitioning into like 4D, 5D, which is like basically all the dimensions are already here. It's just the frequency bandwidth. And so the more you're aware of things and start perceiving things, you kind of move dimensions, and others are not, they're just not there. And you bit by bit start understanding, like, oh, you know, I can't talk to my friends about these things because they just don't understand it. You know, it's like you shift. You don't have the same friends as you used to. Your reality started changing. So we are created, manifests as a reality, but also as our frequency changes, as we activate it, you know, not everyone is able to fully resonate with us. I know I lost some friends who just, you know, didn't want to continue with me because I was too intense for them or whatever. And that's okay. It's part of this process of awakening and ascension, of just really embodying our divinity who we are.
Thank you.
Thank you for all your questions. It's great. I love the questions. That's what we're here for. Everyone else is kind of quiet. Yana, do you have any questions?
I have like millions of questions, but I guess they'll come back. They'll come later. I don't even know. I just like, I mean, how can we, what can I do every day, let's say, to just elevate the frequency of the planet? Just, maybe just from the heart, what can you recommend?
I think what I could recommend is develop a practice. I know you're doing yoga, so practice promotes presence. So the best thing you can do at this time is to have some sort of practice. So starting your day within yoga, I go for a jog and then I like sit down and I meditate and do whatever my transmissions, whatever that practice that resonates with you is the best thing you can do right now, because the more you're present and aware and your frequency is anchored and you're working on yourself, you know, expanding yourself, seeing yourself from within, beating your heart, of course, that is the best you can do right now for Earth and for yourself. So like I said, it's a symbiotic relationship. So that's probably the best advice I have. Daniel, do you have advice?
No, that makes sense. Be the change in the world you want to see, and then everything and everyone else follows.
Yeah, I mean, it's a choice. Everything is a choice, right? So I think being actively also, so practice is number one, but also, you know, you can join an organization that resonates with you, or be part of a group, whatever that group is, that has a really, you know, a good mission that you resonate with. It can be a nonprofit, it can be, I don't know, like workers group or meditation group, whatever it is. It's good to be part of a collective that has a similar mission, and that mission supports raising the frequency, raising the vibration up. So if it somehow correlates to that, that's a really nice, something nice you can do. So for instance, for me, I have like once a week, my group that I meet with now happens to be light language family of mine, and we do transmissions, and we usually like set an intention, and usually they're kind of global, and we do transmissions together for like an hour, usually 2 transmissions, and that's just one way for me, you know, feeling that I'm contributing to this process. And you know, I'm also the regular job. I'm also a mom. I'm running some new moon circles. So, you know, everyone, you just choose few things that resonate with what's interesting for you. It can be music, it can be art, it can be dance. You know, we facilitate ceremonies as well. We make tools. So things that have the ultimate kind of goal to raise frequency is a way to kind of start your day, and also starting your day with gratitude as well. Just always being present and grateful for creation, for being here now.
Thank you. I have a question before I forget. Like you were talking about Sirius, right? The planet. So is it the first planet where everyone came from, like originally, or no?
I wouldn't say the
Sirius
first
is a
planet.
star.
No, actually, it wasn't the first planet. The consciousness itself originated from non-form beings. So we're not always in the form, right? Our aspects of ourselves also are in non-forms. So for instance, consciousness actually started in the cradle of Lyra, where I'm from, and as non-form beings, Elohim. And then because of different, then they descended and they started playing genetically and creating forms. So, they're playing with the lions, with the whales, with the humanoid form. And then there started to be conflicts because the law of one, the universal law of one, talks about service to others. But because we were kind of in this game of consciousness, and then there's always the polarity, plus and the minus, the factions that developed, they were not so interested in service of others, but also they started being interested more in service of self. So more kind of ego-based kind of culture. So there was a division, and because of these wars within Lyra and different races, then some of the races actually started moving outside of the Lyra constellation, and that's where they moved to Sirius. And from Sirius, they actually moved to Pleiades and other places in Orion. So Sirius just became, I would say, like a hub. Trying to think of like in Star Trek, this like main hub, like a school, mini races that could come in and learn and evolve. So galactically, it became like an evolution school. But many didn't just stay in Sirius, and in Sirius they also had different dimensions. So like the whales and the dolphins actually come from Sirius, from one of the forms of consciousness. So the races were evolving, and sometimes they were non-formal, not in the form. I mean, like they were part of the concepts, but in etheric bodies. So, but you hear about Sirius quite a lot because Sirius, if you look at the Giza pyramids, right? So usually it's actually pointing to the Orion belt, where there's actually a portal in Orion belt. Time and space portal, and that's why all these Orion wars that were happening is because of that portal. So yes, it's pointing, the pyramids, the megalithic sites are usually pointing to the stars. So they either point to Sirius, or they point into Orion belt, or they point into the Pleiades constellation, because those were the races, well, the Sirius and Pleiades and Lyrans, they were the most involved in our evolution. So we come from there. So Earth was, I would say, it was a creation, it was an experiment for descending from higher dimensions to, so Lyra, for instance, 11th, 10th, 9th dimension, and then Sirius is actually lower dimensions, is I think 6th and 5th. So if each planet, and also in this particular dimensional bandwidth, but we are kind of we're a mix of all of them.
Yeah. Wow.
I like to think of it this way: we came for the experience, we stayed for the pizza. I mean, there's a lot of truth in that joke, actually.
Where do we go from here?
We stopped eating the pizza. The lower dimensional food.
The difference between Earth and those galactic systems is that here as we descended to 3D, there's the idea of reincarnation and death. In the high dimensions, they're more of immortal souls. So the type of learning that happens in the galactic systems is much longer. So what you learn here in one day, like even today, if you think about all the things you did today and the things you learned, probably will take you much longer if you went serious. It'll probably take you like, I don't know, 100 years, let's say. So because we descended here, and the time concept got created, everything is kind of much quicker here, but takes longer there, or the other way around, you know. So so I've read somewhere, I don't know how true, but I am resonating with it. So those of us who are here now, we actually, and been to Sirius for training, actually trained for thousands of years until we were ready to come to Earth.
Actually, I've read a book just today about the same thing, about the school in Sirius and how they've been trained to come to Earth. Exactly what you just said. Yeah.
Yep.
Some of us paid more attention than others.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. This place is rough. It's very dense. Very, very dense. And the shit that we have to deal with here, right? So in order to awaken and get through all of it, we probably need a lot of training. So
Yeah.
It's especially now, right? Just think about it. And that's why you see some souls actually leaving. There's a lot of souls leaving, and you can, some because of the virus, but it's also because like old energy is leaving Earth right now. We're in a transition. But some are kind of also choosing to leave, or had a specific soul contract to leave at this time and not stay through the long run, which is like the next few years. Maybe it will be a little harder. Who knows? So it takes courage. Goes back to courage, and we are warriors. We are like warriors, void warriors, or whatever you want to call it. So it requires, you know, that kind of training as a warrior to be here now. So
how do you remember your mission? And how do you get to meet any of these celestial entities?
It's all within. You already have all the answers. It takes contemplation. It takes ceremony. Just, you know, I don't know if you have a tribe, but we used to do ceremonies with ayahuasca. Not anymore. More now working with plant medicine of cacao and mushrooms. The plant medicine helps you to come out of this 3D ego mind and connect more into the high frequencies, like the fourth dimensional frequencies. And that's where you have those profound epiphanies or connections. That's one way. It doesn't have to be that way, honestly. There's so many modalities. For instance, I can recommend one. If you're interested to learn more about your past lives, and some past lives go beyond Earth. There's a technique called QHHT that was developed by Dolores Cannon. She is a therapist that did hypnosis on people back in like 60s, and as she started regressing, just doing the hypnosis on them, she started doing what she called past life regressions, and she wrote this amazing book. She's no longer alive, but QHHT, you can actually I think it's called quantum healing. QHHT. Look it up, Dolores Cannon, and they have practitioners that do it for you, and it's sometimes 2 to 3 hour session, and you just basically not so hypnotized, but you go kind of into theta state, and you guided to go through some of these memories, and it's very real because you're still very awake usually during the practice. So I played with it, and then I had it done as well. And although I remembered some of my life times on my own during ceremonies, or there were just epiphany moments or downloads, as I call them. QHHT was really great too, because it just kind of added to the puzzles. And then it's just evolving process. It's kind of in your evolution as you're interested. It's the awareness of the awareness. As you contemplate, as you're interested, as you start paying attention, some of these memories just surface up. It's like I'm peeling the onion. But I feel plant medicine just helps you a bit more to open up to the possibility of it. And have an intention. So intention is a big thing. That's why I start meditations with it, any kind of ceremony, working with intention. Because intention, that's how a universal energy works. Energy flows where intention goes. So it's like where your focused intention is, that's where energy is going to go. So anything you do, if you have an intention, even with light language, when it just started for me, I was like, what is this? I wasn't speaking, I was just making sounds. It was a moment. But then I had the intention to open up more to it. And bit by bit, it was a process of 2 years. Now I'm able to connect to it so deeply, but it's through intention, through kind of going on that path and diving into it and wanting to know more and seeking. So yeah, and then you find it and you're like, yeah, that was always mine. Like it was just, a lot of it is just re-remembering. I already have everything. So
Okay.
yeah, that's why, like, I don't even like to call myself a teacher, definitely not a guru. And anyone who ever claims to be one is someone you probably don't want to follow. There's so many, used to be a little less now because, but usually anyone, we are more facilitators, right? We're just a few steps ahead of you, only a few steps. Just because we were seeking, we found, and we practicing. But everything is kind of given to you already. It's just a matter of opening your heart and just kind of going into it and cultivating that. So practicing being present, practicing like, looking at the sun. When I mentioned that, kind of just the sun itself activates you. Working with what you have, the elements of nature, they're powerful tools. They're all alive. Everything is alive, right? We're part of this mycelium network. They all have messages for us if we pay attention, even the fairies.
Could you put the name of the author in the chat, because it had a different kind of name?
Dolores Cannon? Yeah, she wrote, I'm writing it now.
You said some other name too. I'm not sure.
So Dolores Cannon is, look her up. She also has really great books. One of the books that's very popular is called 3 Waves of Volunteers. So that book was written, all her books are written basically transcripts of the sessions she had with her clients. And these clients went really galactic, and sometimes different like concepts of light, like other beings would channel it through them. So she collected all the information, she put these books. So in 3 Waves of, and QHHT is the modality itself.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there is something that comes to me because I am consciously wanting to evolve me to the next level of being. So I'm actually following a guru. He's no more, and they talk about the next species on Earth, and they would know how to have a more plastic body, and so they won't die the way we do die. So so immortality in body would be the norm, and that would
Body?
immortality in body is choice, would be a choice, and it would also need, it's a different matter that's already coming on Earth. It's called supramental matter, which is more intelligent. It has consciousness in it, so it's not as dense as what we are made of right now. And so taking that in, so
well,
I'm
we
already
are made from carbon, and if you look at the dimensions that not as dense as we are, right? They are more silica based. So as we are upgrading, our DNA is changing and mutating right now, you know, with the light language and just in general with the vibration of the earth and this process. We already changing. I know I'm changing. I feel it, like the DNA is changing, my body's changing. So our cellular memory structure is changing in the process. And we are also receiving these gamma rays and diamond light codes, which are basically plasmatic waves. So that also changes our structure. So we are becoming more and more silica based, basically, and as we are able to hold more light. So the terminology that's out there is that up light quotient. So the more light you're able to hold, because we have a light body, right? That's our aura, but a light body is also our vehicle, like a Merkaba, and that's what we travel with. So if you go into like a bathroom, turn off the light, and then try to look at your hand, you're gonna actually see your light body. It's pretty intense.
It works really well underground in caves.
So, and so you're absolutely right. We are changing already, and also it has to do with our evolution, but it also has to do with our ascension process. So the more light we're able to hold within our body, the more we activate it, and our DNA is awakened. Our structure is changing, and immortality is possible. I'm not going to disagree. Who knows? I mean, that the whole idea. I mean, the beings that are in other dimensions, like the Pleiadians, for instance, or they all immortal. And so when they were developing us here, we were kind of a mix. This human structure was a mix of draconians and Pleiadians. So the Pleiadians gave us feelings. The draconians gave us emotions. So we actually much more evolved than any beings out there in our galaxy, because we have the emotions which are in our blood, and so we have a bigger spectrum in the feelings. So we have a bigger spectrum of energy than, and we can. So that's why some dark forces trying to suppress us, and for us to awaken and know that we have the power. Because imagine, just like in the movies you watch, like X-Men, things like that. Imagine if we all woke up and we realized that we have these amazing powers, and with our emotions, with passion, even anger, we're able to move energy so much more than even them, then it's pretty scary for them. So so we are kind of gods and goddesses walking on earth, and immortality is very much a possibility for us. But I don't think, we'll see. We don't know. We don't discount when it will happen. Perhaps in our lifetime, and or with technology and advancement, depends which timeline it's gonna happen. So yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. All right.
Mortality is an interesting thing.
Yeah.
We had some group we were part of that was talking to dimensionals, other groups, talking a lot about immortality. I think a lot of it is that we are stuck in this reincarnation cycle, right? The Tibetans know about it, like everyone kind of talks about it, and then the question is, how do we get out of it? And I think a lot of it has to do with our evolution. So if you're able on a consciousness level to learn, you know, it's like it's a school, right? So first you have to go to kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, and then eventually graduate. So so each soul has its own kind of momentum, you know, it goes through its different classes. And if you didn't learn everything you need to learn, you come back in a different body, in different circumstances. But we have a choice. If we evolve and expand our consciousness, we can graduate. And then, you know, and then it's our choice what we do next. We don't have to come back here. So that's what we like to believe, but no one really knows. No one really knows anything. Truth is only half truth. So some of us feel this is special. Those of us who've been here for a long time, who've done this for a very long time here on Earth. Some people might remember themselves in Atlantis, others in Egypt. We have this feeling that this lifetime, this is our lifetime. It's an interesting feeling, you know, talking about light workers. We talk to many and they all feeling like this is it. And perhaps it's because we're going through that transition, but it still takes that self-evolution and work. Doesn't just kind of stop there.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna drop off now.
All right.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
We're done. All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining. And just to close off, take a deep breath in and feel as though we're virtually holding hands together. And we're thanking the person on our left. And them, and the person to the right. Again, if there's anyone who should have been here and would have benefited from this, someone who wants to love to, imagine them in the middle of the circle. Back to our heart. Everyone for being here with us. Happy solstice and happy solar eclipse.
Thank you, Dina, so much. You and Angel, thank you.
Much love. Make sure to drink lots of water.
Okay.
Bye.
Good night, and happy Sunday tomorrow.
Thank you. Bye.